G'day, I'm David G. Sheshnagmandia.com. What on earth is Kundalini? Just wanted to do a video about doing the work. And I don't know how relevant it is to the global patterns happening at the moment, the collective healing of the sacral chakra to do with sexual wounds and a education, corrupt education around our sexuality as humans in the Western world, whether it's to do with the transition from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, whether it's the fall of the oligarchy comes to mind, or whether it's the transition of the humans from the old paradigm based on the economy and baby boomer psyche to a new unified reality. But there's a lot of healing going on at the moment around ancestral patterns, sexual imbalances, connection and true intimacy. I just wanted to do a video on that, how my own experience has been pretty confronting but also rewarding in its own right. So I've been going to these workshops thanks to a love in my life for about 2.5 years, maybe it took me 6 months to get over the denial and then go. But I've been going and hanging out with these men's group and getting exposed to different mentors. It's been a beautiful experience, but it's been really confrontational. Luckily for me, I don't have a fear aversion, I have a fear attraction. So if someone scares me, then I try and rub up against them to find out what their intentions are and what my aversion is. So recently I've been doing this work, and whether it's my, I take responsibility for my own abusive nature and stuff in the relationship and my shit to do with codependence and insecurity and jealousy and stuff, all lumped on top of some really deep wound around self-worth. I get it. So I take full responsibility for my relationship status and how it went. I'm not going to take full blame. I'm going to take full responsibility. There's the difference. But in that, I was in a lot of pain, rerunning a program that I've been exposed to all my life of my parents. And my dad, he's been a really honourable man. He's really been disempowered though. And somehow I replicated a dynamic where I was constantly being disempowered. I went through misery and grief and hoping that it had come back to some form of joy. Maybe have 50% good times. It wasn't working. It was unhealthy for both of us. So I made a decision, as hard as it was, taking into account that I love the woman and I've desired her and she's taught me so much about love and myself and intimacy. But because of the unhealthy experience I was having, then I had to pull the pin and I had to embody a strength that I'm not familiar with in regards to emotional maturity. So it was quite uncomfortable to step into my power. And I'm not saying that I'm a dirty bastard and I left the relationship emotionally. I was fully into this relationship emotionally. And at the start of it, I was told to stay in it. A little while ago, about 2 months ago, I was told that I could leave it for my own health. So I did. And as soon as I did, the opportunities aligned with the new dynamic and the new experience I'm embodying has been phenomenal. There's been a couple of opportunities crop up in regards to sharing the sacred yogic science. Energetically and emotionally, I've been watching relationships and wonder if it's better to have one with someone who speaks the same love language and has a similar sexual archetype. And I think if you don't want your relationship to be constant hard work, then you're better off finding someone with a similar constitution, similar sleep patterns. Similar love languages, because then you don't have to worry about learning another language and put in all that effort to please the other person in a foreign language that you're not even coherent in. Anyway, I just wanted to say that after doing the uncomfortable work and then standing up into that power, which was uncomfortable, then things fall into place relative to making the decision. But until I made the decision, nothing fell into place. It was the same cycle. It was like a subconscious snowball just perpetuating without me knowing or having awareness of it. Once I gained awareness of it, then I could slow it down and dismantle it and then become aware of the components within it. And that took a lot of effort. That even took my dad getting sick and me having to visit him, not having to, wanting to visit him for 10 weeks. But it wasn't until I actually stepped up and said, okay, this is what's important. My needs are important. My nervous system's important. My health is important. This is a decision I have to make for me. Breaks my heart. That's like a break and a broke in one, that word. Brokes. Yeah? Breaks my heart. After all the friendship and love and beauty this person's brought into my life, the sheer fact that we're incompatible to a state where it's unhealthy, it's sad. And I hope I have the emotional maturity to be able to embrace this beautiful woman in my life in the future if she wants to go down the dynamic of what she desired in regards to being mature friends and being a part of each other's lives. Anyway, you do the work. Sometimes the subconscious overflows and it becomes conscious, and once you become conscious, then you can re-alter, rejig, reprogram the neural pathways that have inhibited you from a life of fullness and a life of full respect to yourself or myself. There you go. Thanks for listening. You guys have a great day. Om Namo